Revenge on a professor who tried to illegitimately fail me. Back when I was a grad student, there was a professor who taught us programming. His ego was the size of a volcano. The first couple lectures, instead of teaching us programming, he showed us a PPT of his achievements. To this day, I have no idea why he didn't like me. For some context, the university I attended requires you to attend at least 80% of the classes for you to be able to appear for the final exams, so for obvious reasons, I really cared about the attendance. A month later, we got our attendance report, and I was marked absent for almost all the classes which I attended. I went to the professor's chambers and tried to ask him if there was an error and requested him to fix it. He said he didn't give me the attendance because he thought that I hadn't learned enough in his class and told me that he will ask me some questions and determine if I deserve the attendance. He also told me that I was required to carry a notebook with a summary of all of his lectures. We weren't required to take any notes other than what we decided on an individual level. Of course, he decided that I didn't deserve the attendance. I went back home and decided to write an email to the university authorized informing them about the situation and how I deserve the attendance because it was written down in the student rulebook. The student rulebook was a rather useless book that they give you before you start your course, and it has basic rules like don't drink or smoke in class, respect the authorities and stuff like that. Nobody reads that book, but for some reason I did, and the rule for attendance was that even if I late to the class by 15 minutes, I would still get the full attendance for that class. I highlighted this in the email and then went to the computer lab, searched for my saved files from all the days when we had class and took pictures of the date and my name on the files for additional proof of my attendance. The head of the department asked me to meet her for a solution. I told her exactly what happened, and she said that I am liable to receive attendance and that there is no rule to maintain any summary of notes. She directs him to make the necessary changes and tells him that some action will be taken against him. The next day, he tells me to come meet him privately, and I go to his chambers. He tells me that he might lose his job and he needs me to do him a favor and write an email that I accidentally attended the wrong classes and it was my fault, but he would still give me the attendance. I knew something was fishy before I went there, so I was already recording the conversation and he had no idea. I still tell him okay and leave. The next day, I go to him and tell him that I have sent that email and request him to give me the attendance he promised. He laughs and tells me, "What attendance? You mentioned in the email that you attended the wrong classes, so this is on you. You aren't getting anything. The only thing was, I hadn't sent any email and I was recording this conversation too." I went straight to the dean's office with both the recordings and told her that a professor was trying to illegitimately fail me, and here was the proof. He came to the class later and started crying in front of everyone and saying that he might get fired because of me. He wasn't fired but never fucked with me again, and I ended up scoring 90% in his class. I hated programming and I still suck at it, but I had to prove a point.